As men grow older, especially after 60, maintaining strong morning erections can feel like a challenge. But I want you to know this, your body is still capable, your masculinity is still alive, and your confidence can absolutely return. Many men don't realize that blood flow, nerve stimulation, and pelvic muscle activity play a much bigger role than testosterone alone. And that's why today I want to share a technique that's simple, safe, and surprisingly effective for many men, stimulating 2 specific pressure points on the male anatomy that help increase circulation, relax smooth muscle, and wake up your natural erectile response. These points aren't magic, they're based on how the nerves and vessels in your pelvic region respond to touch. When you apply gentle, consistent pressure to these areas, you're essentially giving your body a signal to increase blood flow, relieve tension, and prepare your erectile tissues to function better. Over time, this can help men wake up with stronger, more reliable erections in the morning. Morning erections are a powerful sign of vascular and nerve health, and improving them improves everything from confidence to intimacy. But this technique only works best when you combine it with good daily habits, better circulation, less tension, stronger pelvic muscles, and improved sleep quality. I want every man watching to understand this is not about age stealing your manhood. It's about you taking back control over your body with knowledge, consistency, and simple science-based habits that support male sexual health. Most men think they need pills first, but your body responds amazingly well to small changes. Pressing these 2 points improves nitric oxide flow, supports your arteries, helps your pelvic floor relax, and wakes up the nerve endings that make erections possible. When you practice this consistently, within days or weeks, you may begin noticing firmer mornings, better stamina, and a renewed sense of masculinity. You deserve to feel that way. You deserve to wake up confident. And most importantly, you deserve to feel like yourself again. When we talk about erections, especially for men over the age of 60, the most important thing to understand is this: blood flow is the true foundation of your sexual performance. Many men think erections are all about hormones or desire, but the truth is, none of that matters unless blood can actually travel smoothly into the erectile tissues and stay there long enough to create firmness. That is why stimulating these 2 pressure points becomes so powerful, because the primary thing they do is increase circulation directly to the organ that needs it most. As the arteries age, they naturally stiffen. This happens to every man, but what most people don't realize is how much control you still have over your vascular health. No matter how old you are, even at 60, 70, or 80, your blood vessels can respond to touch, pressure, warmth, and repeated stimulation. They can open, they can relax, and they can deliver the blood you need for strong, satisfying erections. When you press these 2 points on your manhood, you're performing a simple but effective form of targeted vascular activation. You're signaling to the smooth muscle in your penile arteries that it's time to relax, widen, and let blood flow in more easily. This process, known scientifically as vasodilation, is how your body naturally creates an erection. It's the same mechanism behind why younger men wake up with automatic, hard morning erections. Their arteries respond instantly. As you get older, this response slows, but it does not disappear. You can still wake up hard. You can still feel strong. You just need to consistently remind the body how to respond. Another important piece of this is nitric oxide, the natural chemical your body produces to open blood vessels. By stimulating these pressure points regularly, you encourage your nerves to release more nitric oxide right where you need it most. This helps not only with the firmness of your erection, but with sensitivity, warmth, and even stamina. Many older men don't realize that a significant part of their erection difficulties come from poor circulation rather than actual dysfunction. When the arteries are stiff or the blood flow is weak, the tissues don't fill fully or quickly, and that leads to softer erections or inconsistent performance. Improving blood flow can reverse a surprising amount of this. It's also important to understand that blood flow isn't just about physical stimulation. It's about daily habits working together. When you use this pressure point technique consistently, you're essentially training your arteries to stay responsive. You're reawakening the reflexes that naturally create strong morning erections, and as your circulation improves, you may begin to notice additional benefits: better warmth in the pelvic area, improved energy, clearer confidence, and even better mood. Blood flow is tied to vitality in every sense. Your age does not remove your ability to feel powerful, masculine, and capable. Your body still works, it just needs guidance. Enhancing blood flow is one of the simplest, most natural ways to restore your erection strength, and these 2 pressure points give you a direct, efficient tool to make that happen every single day. When it comes to male sexual function, especially after the age of 60, The role of nerves is just as important as the role of blood flow. Erections don't simply happen because blood moves into the penis. They happen because the nerves send powerful, coordinated signals telling the blood vessels exactly when to open, how much to relax, and how long to stay that way. This is why stimulating these two pressure points can make such a noticeable difference, because the penis is one of the most nerve-rich areas of the male body, and those nerves respond remarkably well to touch, pressure, and repeated activation. Many men don't realize that nerve responsiveness can decline with age, not because anything is broken, but because nerves become less frequently stimulated, less active, and sometimes less sensitive. The good news is that nerves can be reawakened. They can be trained, strengthened, and triggered no matter how old you are. When you apply gentle, steady pressure to these 2 points, you're essentially giving your penile nerves a reminder. Wake up and communicate. This activates a cascade of natural responses, release of nitric oxide, relaxation of tissue, and an increased sensitivity that helps you feel more aroused and more engaged. Nerve stimulation is one of the most natural, side effect-free methods of improving erections because it works with the body's own systems rather than forcing blood flow with medications. Think of it like tuning a musical instrument that hasn't been played in a long time. At first, it may feel a little sluggish, but the more you engage with it, the better it responds. Another thing men often forget is that the brain and the penis are deeply connected through these nerve pathways. When the nerves in the pelvic region become more responsive, your brain begins to react faster to stimulation, to touch, to desire. This heightened connection is part of what makes morning erections strong in younger men. Their nerve reflexes are fast and automatic. As you age, those reflexes slow, but pressing these pressure points helps rebuild that reflex loop. It improves awareness, increases sensitivity, and restores the communication channel between your brain and your manhood. Improved nerve activity also supports better performance in moments of intimacy. Many older men experience delayed arousal, weaker sensations, or a lack of mental physical connection. Nerve stimulation reverses this by increasing awareness in the entire pelvic region. When the nerves are more active, the body responds more fully, more quickly, and more reliably. This can help with not just erections, but overall confidence, because when you can feel more, you respond more. One of the most overlooked benefits is how this stimulation reduces anxiety. When your nerves are active and your body begins to respond, your mind naturally relaxes. You no longer feel disconnected or worried about, will I perform? Because your body is giving you clear signals that it's capable. And this mind-body confidence cycle becomes stronger every time you repeat the technique. Your nerves are not gone, they're simply waiting to be activated. With daily stimulation, you retrain your body to respond the way it used to. This is how you regain sensitivity, firmness, and that natural, automatic morning hardness that makes a man feel alive, powerful, and fully himself again. One of the biggest hidden reasons older men struggle with firm, reliable erections is pelvic tension, something almost no one talks about, yet it affects nearly every man over 60. As the body ages, the muscles around the hips, groin, lower abdomen, and pelvic floor naturally become tighter. This tension is not always painful or obvious, but it silently restricts blood flow, compresses nerves, and limits the flexibility of the tissues that need to expand during an erection. When your pelvic muscles are stiff, they act like a tight band squeezing the very pathways your erection depends on, and that is why focusing on these two pressure points becomes so powerful. They work as a direct release mechanism for that hidden muscular tension. When you gently press these points, you're not just stimulating nerves. You're encouraging the deep muscles of the pelvic floor to relax. These muscles, especially the ones beneath the base of the penis, tend to hold stress the same way people hold tension in their shoulders or back. Unfortunately, when tension builds here, it quietly suffocates the natural flow your body needs. Many men assume their weaker erections are caused by age or hormones, when in reality, tight muscles are acting like a clamp around the arteries, limiting how much blood can enter. By using targeted pressure on these points, you help soften those muscles, loosen the area, and allow blood to travel more freely. This relaxation effect has a second benefit. It reduces the stiffness that often affects penile tissue itself. As you age, the tissues inside the penis can become less flexible, making it harder to expand fully. Relaxation helps restore elasticity, making the erection stronger, fuller, and more responsive. And because the pressure points also activate the surrounding nerves, the area becomes more aware, more sensitive, and more ready to respond when you're aroused or waking from sleep. Another key aspect is how tension affects your entire pelvic posture. When muscles are tight, the pelvis tilts or shifts, which can change how blood circulates while you sleep. This is one reason many older men stop waking up with morning erections. Their body is simply too tense to allow the automatic blood pressure response that young men experience. Releasing this tension makes it easier for your body to produce natural morning wood because nothing is blocking the flow anymore. It's like unclogging a narrowed pipe. Once the pathway is open, everything moves smoothly again. Relaxing the pelvic region also has a major psychological effect. Many older men carry subconscious tension from stress, fear of performance, past experiences, or even simple frustration with aging. When your body physically relaxes, your mind follows, you feel calmer, more confident, and more connected to your body. This mental ease helps your erections become stronger because anxiety and tension are two of the biggest erection killers. By consistently pressing these two pressure points, you teach your pelvic muscles to release more quickly and more naturally. Over time, you may notice your body feeling lighter, warmer, and more open in the groin area. These are signs that circulation is improving and tension is fading. This simple habit works almost like daily maintenance for your manhood, making sure nothing is tight, blocked, or restricted. And when the pathways are clear, your erections can return stronger, fuller, and more reliable, helping you feel confident and capable again. Most men want fast results when it comes to improving their erections, especially after the age of 60. That's understandable. When something feels weaker or inconsistent, you naturally want a quick fix. But the truth is, the male body responds best not to one-time efforts, but to repetition, routine, and consistency. Pressing these 2 points once or twice may feel good, but it won't create long-lasting changes. What truly transforms your morning erections is the steady, daily stimulation that teaches your body how to respond again. Think of it like strengthening a muscle or improving flexibility. You don't get stronger from a single workout, and you don't become flexible from a single stretch. The same is true for circulation and nerve activation. When you apply gentle pressure to these 2 points every day, even for just a minute or two, you're conditioning your erectile system. You are retraining the blood vessels to open more easily, reminding the nerves to activate faster, and guiding the pelvic muscles to relax instead of tightening. Over time, these small actions accumulate into significant improvement. Your body begins to anticipate the stimulation, the nerves fire more smoothly, and the flow of blood becomes more dependable. Morning erections don't return from intensity, they return from repetition. Consistency is also important because the tissues inside the penis need regular activation to stay healthy. Just like any part of the body, the erectile tissue functions best when it is used and stimulated frequently. When you apply pressure to these points daily, you're improving oxygenation, keeping the tissue flexible, and preventing stiffness or weakening. Many men don't know that the penis is a vascular organ that requires regular maintenance to stay strong. Without consistent blood flow, even overnight, the tissues can slowly lose their ability to expand fully. That's why improving daily stimulation helps bring back those strong morning erections. Your body is being reminded how to behave the way it did when you were younger. There is also a psychological component to consistency. When you follow a simple daily routine and begin noticing even small changes, slightly firmer mornings, improved sensitivity, or better warmth in the pelvic area, your confidence grows. Confidence reduces performance anxiety, which then improves erections even more. It becomes a positive cycle. The more consistent you are, the better your body responds, and the more your mind trusts your body's ability to perform. This mental reassurance is powerful, especially for older men who have spent years feeling unsure or frustrated. Another reason daily practice works so well is because it helps undo years of small habits that may have weakened erections over time. Poor posture, long sitting hours, stress, and age-related stiffness all accumulate slowly. Daily point stimulation is like pressing the reset button, loosening what's tight, awakening what's dormant, and rebalancing the circulation that age tries to slow down. Over time, the benefits compound. What feels small on day 1 becomes transformative by week 4. Your body is capable of improvement at any age, but it responds best to routines, not occasional attempts. Consistency builds strength. Consistency builds responsiveness. And ultimately, consistency is what brings back the firm, reliable morning erections that make you feel youthful, confident, and fully alive again. Morning erections are more than just a sign of sexual readiness. They are one of the strongest, most reliable indicators of a man's overall health, especially after the age of 60. Many men don't realize this, but the firmness, frequency, and consistency of morning wood reflect how well your cardiovascular system, nerve pathways, hormones, and pelvic muscles are working together. When you start waking up with stronger, more dependable erections, It usually means your arteries are healthier, your nerves are signaling efficiently, and your body is producing nitric oxide and oxygen, rich blood more effectively during sleep. This is why improving morning erections is not just about sex. It's about restoring your vitality, your circulation, and your internal balance. When you stimulate these two pressure points every day, you help rebuild the conditions necessary for these natural morning erections to return. During sleep, especially during REM cycles, your brain sends automatic signals to the pelvic nerves that cause vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels, which fills the erectile tissue and helps maintain its strength. As men age, these signals weaken because the nerves lose sensitivity, the arteries stiffen, and pelvic tension restricts flow. But by using pressure point stimulation, you reawaken these pathways, you remind the arteries how to open, you teach the nerves to respond faster. You relax the muscles that normally tighten overnight. And all of this helps restore the natural erection you should be waking up with every morning. Morning erections are also a powerful indicator of cardiovascular health. Because an erection relies on the smallest blood vessels in the body, they are usually the first to show signs of decreased circulation. If you've noticed weaker morning erections over the years, it can actually be an early sign of declining vascular flexibility. By stimulating these pressure points, you're not just improving sexual function, you're improving microcirculation, which supports overall heart and arterial health. When your morning erections become stronger again, it often means your blood vessels have become more elastic, your heart is pumping more efficiently, and your body is delivering oxygen more effectively during sleep. There's also a huge psychological benefit. Many older men lose confidence when morning erections fade. It feels like a reminder of aging, of weakness, or of loss of masculinity. But when you start waking up firm and strong again, your mindset shifts. You feel alive. You feel capable. Your confidence rises naturally because your body is giving you proof that it still works and works well. This mental shift influences everything from intimacy to mood to daily motivation. Returning morning erections also improve the health of the erectile tissue itself. During those nighttime cycles, the penis receives a flush of oxygen, rich blood that keeps the tissue flexible and prevents long-term stiffening. Without these nightly erections, the tissue can gradually lose its strength and elasticity, but when you stimulate the pressure points regularly, you increase the chance of getting those essential nighttime and early morning erections back, which protects the tissue and improves performance in every situation. Regaining strong morning wood is not just a sexual victory, it's a full body victory. It means your nerves, blood vessels, muscles, and hormones are waking up together. And with daily practice, these two pressure points help restore one of the most important signs of male vitality, strength, and youthful function no matter your age. Most men over 60 have been conditioned to believe that the only way to improve erections is through pills, supplements, or medical procedures. And while those options can help temporarily, they don't fix the underlying issues that cause weaker erections in the first place. The reality is that your body has natural mechanisms built into it, mechanisms that respond to touch, pressure, relaxation, and repeated stimulation. When you activate these natural systems through the two pressure points, you're using the most basic, powerful tools your body already understands. Instead of forcing a fast, artificial result, you're teaching your body to function correctly again. And that is why small, physical habits like this become far more effective in the long run than any quick fix ever could. Temporary solutions can only push blood into the penis for a short period. They don't retrain the nerves, they don't relax the pelvic floor, they don't increase long-term sensitivity, and they definitely don't address the blocked or sluggish blood flow caused by age-related tension. But pressing these 2 points works on every level: circulation, nerve activation, muscle release, and psychological readiness. It forms a complete approach to restoring natural, healthy erections. You're not relying on chemicals, you're rebuilding the communication between your brain, your nerves, and your manhood. This method also helps you reconnect with your own body in a way many older men have unintentionally lost. When you take time to stimulate these points, you create awareness in the pelvic region, you increase your ability to feel arousal, which often fades with age, not because of lack of desire, but because the sensory nerves become underused and less responsive. Daily physical stimulation rewakes that entire system. It brings life back into the tissues, helps the nerves fire faster, and restores the mind-body link that creates strong erections. Another advantage of natural stimulation is that it minimizes anxiety. Pills can create pressure. Will they work tonight? Will I get side effects? But consistent daily stimulation calms the mind. You begin to trust your body again because you're not depending on an external solution. You're building confidence with your own hands using your own biology. When men feel that sense of control returning, performance improves even more naturally because confidence is directly tied to erection strength. Small physical habits are also easier to maintain long term. You don't need prescriptions, you don't need timing, you don't need money. All you need is consistency and a few minutes a day. Over time, these small efforts compound into major improvements. Your circulation becomes smoother. Your morning erections return. Your erections during intimacy become stronger and more dependable. You feel more masculine, more energetic, and more in tune with your body. What makes this practice powerful is that its effects build on themselves. Every day you stimulate these pressure points, you reinforce the improvements from the day before. You train your body the same way you would train a muscle, gradually, steadily, patiently. And just like muscles grow with repetition, your erectile function strengthens with consistent natural training. The more you rely on your body's own systems, the more reliable those systems become. Small habits transform you not because they are dramatic, but because they are consistent. And for men over 60, this natural stimulation is one of the simplest, safest, and most effective ways to rebuild the firmness, sensitivity, and confidence that make you feel like yourself again. At the end of the day, your age is not the end of your strength, your confidence, or your masculinity. What changes with age is not your ability, but your awareness of what your body needs. These two pressure points are not magic and they're not shortcuts. They are reminders that your body still works, your nerves still respond, and your circulation can still come alive with the right stimulation. You are not broken. You are not past your prime. You simply need to reconnect with the natural systems inside you that may have gone quiet over the years. Every man over 60 deserves to feel powerful in his body. You deserve mornings that start with confidence, not frustration. You deserve intimacy without fear, hesitation, or disappointment. And you deserve to know that your body can still respond, still perform, and still surprise you in the best way. When you take a few minutes each day to activate these points, you're not just improving erections, you're rebuilding trust in your own body. You're giving yourself permission to feel strong again. Aging doesn't mean losing your manhood, it means learning how to support it differently. And once you understand how your circulation, nerves, and pelvic muscles work together, you begin to realize how much power you still have over your sexual health. These small habits create big changes. These gentle practices restore what you thought was gone, and with consistency, patience, and the willingness to take control, you will feel the results: stronger mornings, better stamina, deeper confidence, and a renewed sense of masculinity. Your journey doesn't end at 60. In fact, this is the age where many men finally learn how to care for their bodies the right way, and the moment you start, your body responds. So keep going, keep practicing, keep choosing consistency over fear, because your manhood is still alive, still capable, and still ready to rise with you every single morning.